Greetings, Stars fans! Welcome to game 38 of the Two Brothers Mic'd Up show. If you didn't know, we always sit down after a Dallas Stars game, play a little game of NHL, talk about our feelings, what we thought about what just happened in the previous game. Stars played the Blue Jackets, and they fall 6-3. Now, the past couple of episodes, we've been brotherless in the Two Brothers show, but we are reunited again. But in the last video, it was only me, so I had the predictions, as we usually start out each video. I had Dallas coming on top of 4-2, but if Columbus was going to come on top, I liked a score of 3-2. I was pretty wrong in both of those predictions. And it's just another game that the Stars don't come out hungry enough against a lower ranked team. And this being the first place team against the last place team. I mean, it's becoming... I honestly thought they were kind of getting over this little hump, but it looks like this is just going to be, and we're almost at the halfway point. We're just a couple of games away of the halfway point of the season. I mean, this isn't a fluke. The Stars are not showing up for these games. Let's go down the list of the goal scorers. We got Boone Jenner, which is actually a really awesome name. He scores 35 seconds into the start of the game. Stars caught sleeping, lack of defensive coverage, and they are down 1-0. Colton Sevier comes back, scores within 6 minutes of the period to tie it up. Actually, a really good goal. But then a minute, 25 seconds later, Kevin Connaughton, yes, the Kevin Connaughton, he scores. And then that is 2-1 for the Blue Jackets. A really weak goal. We got Matt Calvert. He scores, making it 3-1. Going into the second period, we have Tyler Seguin scoring, and then we have Brandon Saad scoring. It was kind of a close game in the second period. And then in the third period, we have Patrick Sharp, and then Scott Hartnell, and Rene Borek. Let's go down the list of the goals and let's talk about each one. Or actually, since we have the brother back, let's talk about what he liked at the beginning of the game and what he didn't like.
I really don't think there's anything to like at the beginning of the game.
Not one single thing?
The Stars just didn't play like a first place team that first period. They played really shuffled. They played really, I want to say, lackluster. They didn't have any jump, and that hurt them a lot.
Oh no, it definitely did. They hearing some of the I don't want to say they're like apologies for this game, but you see a lot of the media writing about how it's hard to get energy for these types of games. Like when you're playing against St. Louis or Pittsburgh or some original six team, those are the games you wake up for. Those are the games that your ears perk up for. But I kind of want to say that I don't accept that at all. These are all professional athletes, and every game should mean something to them. It shouldn't matter if this is the last place team. You're never going to hear a Dallas Stars player be like, yeah, we just don't really care about these games. You're never going to hear that. You're never going to hear that from the coach. But it seems as if they're going about their business like that for these games. It's like they're taking too much for granted. I actually want to draw a comparison to the Golden State Warriors of the NBA. They've only lost one game in their season. One game. And they are the defending champions. They are so hungry. They don't care who they play against. They want to beat the living hell out of every team that they play against. Why doesn't Dallas have that hunger to, especially after the season that they had last season? Every game they should be up, they should be hungry and trying to, get rid of that stigma of what happened last year. I don't accept people saying, well, it's just hard to wake up for these games. Quite frankly, I don't care. Every game should mean something to these athletes. I mean, how do you feel about that saying? Is that, they're a last place team, there's not really much to play for, but then you want to play against the best teams in the league. I mean, everybody gets paid.
You should never have that attitude.
Exactly.
In any kind of thing you do. Because the second you start taking that attitude is the second you get your dick knocked in the dirt, for lack of better terms. And that's basically what happened to the Stars last night.
Exactly. I feel as if in these games, I think someone was saying that Jamie Benn was quoted after the game is that, we just tried to outscore Columbus in this game. And that's exactly how they played. They didn't try to outwork this team. They tried to outscore this team. And that's what got Dallas in trouble a lot last season. And clear example, not trying to outwork, on the first goal, on Boone Jenner's goal, you see Ben covering Boone Jenner coming into the zone. Watch carefully. He's on him all the way, and then when the puck goes towards the net and it's there in the crease and everyone's battling for it, those two players do completely different things. Boone Jenner stops right in front of Kari to help fight for the puck. Jamie Benn, on the other hand, just curls off of his defensive coverage and starts skating towards the blue line for some reason. Whenever the puck is right there, there was only 3 Columbus Blue Jackets in the crease. 4 Dallas Stars players couldn't outwork the 3 players there. Jamie Benn, if he had stayed with Boone Jenner, I don't think that is a goal. He just completely forgot what his plan was. He saw that since there were 4 other players there, it looked like he assumed they'll get him. But they didn't.
The defense needs to start playing more old school hockey in front of our net. Start knocking people down. Start pushing them out of the crease. And overall just playing more defensively.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of blown coverage. We're seeing a lot of lazy coverage. A lot of, just puck watching, not enough stick in the lanes, not enough pressure. Not enough pressure is what I feel is the problem when it comes to these defensive breakdowns. They're not putting any kind of pressure and letting all the pressure come to them. Colton Sevier scores. That is now 3 goals out of 4 games. He is lighting up, as NBA Jam would put it. He's heating up, and it looks like he's found that scoring touch again. Because he had one really great goal against St. Louis, and then he's had a couple of dirty goals. This one was a dirty goal, staying in front, looking for the rebounds. Being a pigeon, trying to clear out, trying to pick up everything he can, and he does. The Kevin Connaughton goal, I think, is where where the game was lost. It wasn't them just getting scored on in the first 30 seconds. No, that's not the problem. The problem is that once Kari let in that weak glove side, short side goal that he's done a lot this season for, I think that's what the scouting report is on Kari now: shoot short side, glove side. And once they got that weak goal on Kari, I think everyone just deflated. yes, there were spurts of energy here and there because Dallas did score two more goals, but the game was over. Goaltending wasn't there. I mean, we see the Calvert goal. He's kind of just standing in the slot all alone. Klingberg looks just lost in the slot, not really covering anybody. Granted, that puck should never really get to Calvert, but I think the game was lost with the Kevin Connaughton goal because it was a weak goal. And then Kari gets pulled, which if you've been watching in the past couple of videos, I clearly stated that if Kari's one of Kari's next games, if he gets in there and starts getting lit up, don't take him out. You know, that's not doing anything for his confidence. That's not doing anything. Why shelter this goalie? There's no reason to pull him out, because I think if he lets in a couple of weak goals, he's only going to get rattled in thinking that, okay, well, I'm going to get pulled anyways, so maybe I'm just going to not play as hard. I don't know. That could be it, because Kari didn't play very well in this period. Leave him in there. Let him get his teeth kicked in. Let him understand that, you know, you can't get rescued from your mistakes. You can't have Auntie come in and try to clean up for you every single time. That's not how you're supposed to coach a hockey team. Everybody should be accountable for their actions on this team. And hell, Lindy Ruff in his post game even says, I don't like pulling goalies. I don't like taking goalies out of the game. Why take them out then? I don't understand the thought process on trying to protect Kari, because you know what? The only way that I feel that he's going to start, you know, gaining his faculties back is if he takes that hard loss and realizes that he's not going to get rescued every single time. How did you like the defense towards the middle of the game, like the second period, third period, and what did you think of Auntie's play whenever he came in relief?
Well, I mean, I just want to throw in a comment that I completely disagree with what you think about with Lettinen. I think if he's playing that bad, he needs to be pulled. I feel that the Stars need to start realizing that Antti Niemi is the starter of goalie. There's no more 1A, 1B. And that the majority of the starts should start going to Niemi. Maybe do like a three start Niemi, 1 start Lettinen. Or 2 start Niemi, 1 start Lettinen. Until Lettinen starts to prove that he can get back into his form.
Well,
going to the defense, I feel that they had no physicality to their game. They were all offensive minded when they got down. That they basically stopped playing defense and tried to just keep scoring goals. And I feel the Columbus Blue Jackets sensed that was happening, and so they just came out with an all-out puck dominant game.
Oh yeah, I think it's like Columbus leads the league in like penalties, roughing penalties, majors, hits. Like Columbus is a team that likes to go out and knock you around. But I'd really like to go back. I mean, this is what I love about this show, is that sometimes we disagree on things. I mean, how do you feel that pulling him does anything for Kari's confidence in taking him out of the game?
If he's not getting his confidence back after a 3-0 shootout against the Blues, nothing's going to get him his confidence back.
Right, but Kari is still making a ton of money. You know, he's making starting goaltender money, and you can't really justify him being the backup. Although I do think he is the backup right now. I think Antti is the clear number one, and Antti should deserve the majority starts. But that doesn't, exclude Kari from getting the starts that he's going to get. So that's why it's in Kari's past 3 starts. He's been pulled twice, and he's gotten a shutout. And then Antti has to come in and try to mop up. That's just going to overextend Antti Niemi whenever Kari should be finishing his games. Not only should it, should you leave Kari in to help get his mind right, but it also gives Antti a night off, But, I mean, that'll be a discussion maybe for another time, in a couple of weeks to see, how things have played out. Because I'm very interested to see how the rest of the season goes, especially with the schedule, with how tough it's going to be now. I think February is going to be absolutely terrifying with our games, because I think it is just filled with division games and everything like that. But let me see. Okay, let's talk about towards the middle and the end of the game. What did you like out of the offense? Granted, they scored a couple more goals, and they were kind of in this game, towards the beginning of the third period, and then all hell started really to break loose. But what did you like out of the offense from the game?
They started to get something rolling, and whenever you can do that with an offense, that's a good sign. And they started just doing the right thing, making perfect passes, as you can see with the Spezza and Sharp goal, like just a beautiful pass. But then there's always just that one single breakdown that just shifts the momentum all the way to the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, and we actually saw that on the Sod goal. You see that defensive breakdown again towards the middle of the crease, and the Stars just didn't have that backbone towards the end of the game. I mean, the Stars' best players were their best players, but their best players weren't even that great. Jamie Benn, I talked about him in the beginning of the video with his very weak coverage coming back on Jenner. But, Ben did try to make up for that. I mean, he had that shorthanded opportunity. The Stars just, they weren't completely out of this game, but, I mean, the game was lost early for them. But I did like seeing that Jamie Benn, does take, stuff not lightly. He understands that whenever he messes up, he needs to kind of, he made his bed, so now he has to lie in it. But he also gets to try to get himself out of that bed as well by some of the stuff that he was doing earlier or later into the game with like that shorthanded opportunity and the pad stack on the empty net goal. It's always great seeing your players put their body on the line for that. But in this game, we also see Hemsky go down. Now, Hemsky might miss 2-3 games out of Richie, Fatsa, and McKenzie. Who do you want to see come up? Or who do you think is going to come up, and who do you want to come up?
What I want to see is Nichushkin get scratched, and I want them to bring up Ritchie and Faxka.
Okay, so you leave in Patrick Eves and Moen in their respective slots?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, okay. You want Richie up. Who do you think is coming up?
I mean, the logical sense is to bring Richie up.
Is
You
it
know,
just
he's destroying the AHL right now. If you go look at his stats and the amount of games he's played, like he's just killing it over there.
well? Fatska's having a good year too. So you think? So you want Richie and Fatska up, and then Nichushkin scratched. I mean, what do you think about bringing up those players and maybe having Eves get scratched, have Moen scratched, leave Nichushkin in, but you have I for one would like to see Richie come up because I'd like to see how his rehab has really gone to see if he can actually come back and play at the NHL speed. I know he's playing at the AHL speed pretty well, but that's not the NHL. It will never be the NHL, and the speed is so much different. So I'd like to see where his rehab and like his conditioning really is.
Well, like I said, I want to see Nichushkin scratched, so it's gonna be the answer I stick with.
All right. Okay, let's go into the ratings of this game. What rating did you give this game?
I gave it a solid D, just because the goaltending at the beginning was awful. Goaltending at the end of the game was awful. Defense was awful all around. Offense was pretty much the only thing that kept this game from being probably 6-0.
Well, I also gave it a D, but I gave it a D plus because the Stars kept the score relatively close for much of the game. It did get out of hand from them late in the game. I didn't like how they started. I didn't really like how they finished, to be honest with you. I thought the defense and the goaltending was terrible, but this was another game that the Stars let a backup goaltender that has only won one game out of, I think, 9 or 10 games. He's only won once, and he came in and put the doorstop in. I mean, he had some leaks here and there, but other than that, McElhinney just came in and said, you know what, not tonight, and played really well. So I give a D minus or a D plus because you can't give a passing grade for that game. You just can't. The Stars play the Nashville Predators on New Year's Eve. What kind of predictions do you have for that?
Well, hopefully Niemi's in net.
Well, I would have a feeling he would be in the net.
Yeah, and they always play a pretty close physical game. I feel that if Dallas comes on top, it'll probably be a score of, I'd say, 3-2, and if Nashville comes on top, it's going to be a score of 4-2.
And why do you think that?
I just have that feeling.
Okay. The Stars. It's pretty much a tradition now that the Stars play on New Year's Eve, and the Stars are actually exceptional on this game. The Stars usually shine really, really bright for this game, and Nashville is kind of like a Dallas-esque team. They're high flying. They have a good goalie. But Nashville, they don't score a lot. Their defense scores a lot. So I don't really see Nashville out shooting or outgunning the Dallas Stars. That's why I like a score of 5-2 for Dallas. If Nashville is going to come on top, I like a score of, if I think Niemi will be in net and he should be really good. I like a score of 2-1 for Nashville. Only on the sheer fact that Dallas or Nashville's leading scorers are Shea Weber and Roman Josi. So that alone right there just goes to show you that they're probably not going to score, lights out. But that's the discussion. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share wherever you would like. Leave any kind of feedback on what you liked, what you didn't like. Remember, this is a show for fans, by fans, and as always, tune in next time.